So this is the official last class of this level of the TAG course. And we will meet now on the second and the fourth Wednesday through the rest of the year. Because I'm going to encourage you to practice on yourself, on others, in some fashion, to so hands-on things, so that we can, when we get together, we'll do Q&A, we'll do laser coaching, we'll cheer each other on, whatever we do. But so this is the official last. So what's been interesting, I'm going to say this because it's just on the tip of my mind. What I've really liked about doing a Monday and a Wednesday class like I did here is, I don't know, it's you're doing, you just same curriculum. It changes a little bit because of the questions, the same curriculum twice. It's been great having two classes right back to back almost, but with different students, but the same curriculum. So that's the story here. Okay, I'm just going to see what this is, and then we'll set space and get going. So I haven't heard from Jay Lynn, and I can't remember if I'm going to forward this to Susan. I can't remember if she missed something. She did. She missed Monday's class, and I forgot to send her this reminder. Yeah, she would usually try. Okay, there that goes. So I haven't heard from Jalen, so she may pop in. Deborah won't come on at the now. She might come in just a little while. The birthday party, they took her a little bit further away from home. So, oh dear.
Sounds lovely.
Okay, so let's set our space. So welcome everyone. Glad you're here. It's good to see all of you. The reason I put together, the participatory membership, monthly membership for the Sacred Ground Collective community is so that we can, people, because I'm ending, my classes are kind of ending. And so they can go into a membership and still stay in communication, still have bennies that'll come along with that. And I'm glad I did it, even though this particular class will meet regularly when, kind of anyway, but the other classes won't do that. So this is a good way to stay in touch, I think, with a new membership. So let's breathe, get a sense of being on the planet, being in this body on the planet. As we breathe, bring ourselves to this moment in time. We come with all of the energies, the songs that have been singing inside of us today, right here together. So we bring wisdom and questions and excitement, and maybe a little bit of nervousness or fear or doubt, anxiety. That's often part of our day. We're sitting on the sacred ground of sovereignty, cocooned within their triple cocoon and the hazmat suit. And as we sit here in circle, we ask for that same space holding of sacred sovereignty, triple cocoon, hazmat around everyone that we love and care about. That those that we love are held and cared for as we meet. Get a sense of that sun from our divine families, our star home, our true divine home, moving through the sun, that field of intelligence that recalibrates energy, adds more songs that are unique for this earth experience, breathing that energy into yourself, knowing their ideas, expansive love, holding you as we meet. That energy moving through you, right out the soles of your feet, the roots into Mother Earth, into Gaia, where there's so much going on within her home. And we ask that those roots contain that energy of the sun from secure channels, that it feed the roots of those sister circles. Bring resilience and stability and a sense of love and generosity. And then let your breath bring your attention up right here to this circle that you're in, getting a sense of Arlie, of Audrey, of Orlantha, of Jaylyn, Deborah, when she makes it, Susan, when she comes. That we are in such good company. Feel the heart strength that we have together. This circle is called, it's designed, it's anchored, and it's now open. And so it is. So then let's each of us place ourselves in the circle and name, of course, and where you are, how you're doing, whatever you want to bring to the circle in that fashion. And if there's any individuals that you want to bring into the circle, you can bring them in just a number. And what quality do you personally want to activate for the circle? So let's start with you, Arlie.
I'm Arlie in New Zealand. I want to bring in the quality of understanding and clarity. I'd like to bring in 4 people. And what's happening with me is we had the most bodacious storm yesterday. It was great. And today the sun is out and it's simply lovely. And I will call on Audrey.
Hi, I'm Audrey and I'm in Pennsylvania, and I bring into the circle today confidence in our abilities. And let's see, I need to bring in 8 people and 1 issue into the circle, and yeah, just a lovely day in the neighborhood. And all in Orlanthia.
Hi, I'm Orlantha. I'm joining everyone from Arizona. I'd like to bring in 5 people into the circle. I just came back from vacation, so I'm feeling revitalized and grateful. So I'd like to bring those qualities into the circle. It was a really good trip. We had lots of fun. It was a girls' trip. And now it's back to work, back to the grind. So I'm ready to work. I'm possibly ready to start dating. I've been single for 6 months, so we'll see.
Jaylyn, looks like it's your turn.
Greetings, everyone. Good evening. I would like to call in deeper integrity with self. And I'm gonna call in 7 people today. And I guess just to express what I mean by integrity, I'm very empathic and I pick up on people's pain, and I don't want to. I'm really tired of it. My neck started hurting really bad today and I didn't know why. And my friend came over, he's here right now, hanging out with my husband and my son, and his neck is out. So I gave him a bottle of turmeric and Epsom salt, and I'm like, that's why my neck hurts. This is nuts. I want that integrity of self. I don't want to take on people's pain, but I do want to help them. So yeah.
Do you want to put any into the circle, Jaylyn and Orlantha?
7 for me.
Oh yeah, I got 7. That's okay.
And 5 for me.
Okay, so I'm Sharon Raji here in the Pacific Northwest, and beautiful fall day. It rained and was still misty by the time morning came, but clear enough to walk with my daughter and her dog this morning. So that was great. I want to bring into the circle appreciation for those we walk with in spirit. Yeah, really a lot. I don't know what I would do without that help. And so I want to bring that in, that appreciation into the circle. And I am going to bring in I'm going to bring you 5 into the circle. Okay. Okay, so before we start, let's gather up those that we have. We have 29 and an issue. And just ask the causal team with if each of those individuals, along with their higher self and the tag collective, we place them in your hands, asking that they be treated with all of the skills, abilities, and decrees that we as a group have for healing and blessing and stabilizing. Whatever it is they need, we ask that it be done to the highest and best of their experience while we gather here, and give you thanks for that. Okay, so we're going to start as usual with, what questions do you have? Insight, feedback, popcorn style.
I'll share that I'm really excited. I have 2 people lined up to do practicums with. And yeah, and I told them that I want to do a 4-session minimum.
Good.
So I'm really
Good.
excited about that. And I've been reading over all the printouts and looking over my notes. I had an experience very recently on Sunday that I came up against a pattern and I witnessed it, and I didn't I just wanted to work with it in meditation specific without any tools or charts or anything, but I've read over the material enough. So I pretty much took myself through a tag healing, and I ended up realizing that my issue being that I dim my light when somebody's like, I'm better than you are, even if I'm just assuming that that's how they feel, if they hold themselves that way, I just dim. And I came to realize that there was a past life where I got stabbed in the back from sisters who were like, I'm better than you are, and then I ended up being the scapegoat. So I worked with that and it was really great. I felt a lot better just being a witness and recognizing it and working with it. So that's my share. And it's not so much a question, it's just excited about working with people and bringing it forward. Oh, I do have a question. So the other day I led a guardian circle meditation online and I couldn't see anybody. And we did talk about that another time. And I feel like I left a couple people hanging and I felt bad about it. And I was like, maybe this isn't okay to do like in a group, like broad setting, because I had somebody trying to get a hold of me and couldn't find my contact information. And she was okay. She did show up the next day too. And she did seem fine. But I did feel, and maybe this is part of that integrity problem. I did feel her anxiety of like, I want to get a hold of her and find out this thing. And so I don't know if you have any thoughts on just like I created a broad meditation with it, with the deep six and working with drawing in the evolutionary light codes is how I said it, and letting them go into your pain. And I said, if anyone needs to get a hold of me, please do. And she couldn't get a hold of me. So it was just kind of is this okay?
Okay, I just want to clarify. So did you do a guardian circle meditation or did you do an evolutionary download?
It was basically a guardian circle meditation where I had them draw the guardian circle and the cocoon and draw in their guides and their angels and clean and clear anything that was in the way of being their best self.
Okay.
And to now to allow evolutionary light codes to be downloaded into them. So it's kind of like the reality statement process and how you bring in the light codes.
Uh-huh.
I think that was more what I was doing.
So you have two different things going on here. So I'm going to give you answers about both of them. So
Okay.
First of all, what I've determined, we're not going to do the evolutionary download in groups, and we're not going to do it. We're not going to do it. My feeling is we need to do it as a standalone. After we've done a basic healing, clearing, because there's so much that happens in that basic matrix 1 that I don't want to put the download on at that time. I want the clearing, and then another session with the downloads. You can do a day, a go through sweep at that point too. Like the tag matrix is the sweep through, check and see how the 11th hour is doing, and then do the downloads. And then, because the downloads, I think we're going to learn more and more about what they are, how to deal with them. And I want that to be available for questioning one-on-one. So that's how we're setting up doing the evolutionary download part of the work. But let's go to the guardian circle. The guardian circles came because we started with time travel. We started with a group, and the name that the ancient ones had given that whoever would come be aligned with that group, the Shadea mission. And they would literally time travel. Here's an issue, here's Afghan being troubles in Afghan. So then we'd gather in a meditation circle online, and we would each ask our guides to take us back to the point where we could pull the seed. Some of us, my intention was always to go back to where the outsiders were talking about it, but they'd not inserted it yet. So I would go back to the insertion point. Others would go back to a point maybe where it was escalated again, or especially in intense time. So we'd each go back to some point along, we'll say the Akashic record, the timeline, and find a point where that particular issue's seed began or grew. And that was called the Shadea mission. That group was in existence for about 6, maybe 8 months. And now we have a whole bunch of new energy available. And so that's when the guide said, the ancient said, hey, with all this new energy available, gather anyone who loves crystals, who understands that crystals can pick up information and broadcast it. They're like radio broadcasters, pick up information and broadcast. And we call, and I put out the call, anyone, anywhere in the world. And that became the Crystal Broadcaster Group. And so every month they got a glyph with a reality statement, a symbol for the reality statement. They created a little altar with a circle of stones, some of them outside, some of them big, some of them little. And in the center of the circle, because the stones were like the guardians, in the center of the circle was the clear quartz crystal. And then every month they would put the new broadcaster symbol and reality statement in the middle of the circle. So we did that. So now it was like, okay, things are going to start to form. And with that new forming, when the outsiders see it, they're going to either smash it or co-opt it. They won't allow new things like this, like you guys are calling for. That's when the Guardian Circle came into being. So it began this way. If there was somebody who I saw came across my attention, who was beginning some kind of a project, might be a book, it might be a lecture tour, it might be a nonprofit, anything that was new, that was going to make a difference in the world, I would contact, it was usually a her, I contacted her and say, you realize that you're putting yourself in target way. And most of them had a sense of that. And I said, we have what we call the Guardian Circle protocol, and this is the way it works. You invite trusted allies that would love to hold space for you and your project for a period of time while it grows. So they would, and then I'd get on a Zoom call with them. And so then I would explain the Guardian protocol, and it's all in PDF. I'll put it an attached one on the website. There may be one already, but I'll put it there again with this video. So there was a protocol, who comes and who, all about that. So I'd explain to them, personal choice, law of manifestation, how energy works. This is what we're doing. We're putting a Guardian Circle around your friend while she grows. Perfect. And you energize that circle 5 minutes every day. They didn't need to get together. She didn't manage the circle. The circle managed itself. She had things to do. That's where it started. Okay. So doing it in a group is exactly how we had started it, but around specifics, and they can do it around specifics. But then it became clear that the same team that has the ability to keep the attack away has the ability to go into a difficult situation and pull out the outsiders, and so that the situation itself could collapse or change. So we think of it a lot more often, I think, as bringing it in to dissolve away, but and that can be done in group too. The Guardian group began to meet online, as did the Crystal Broadcaster online. And so for probably close to a year, we had at least, I don't know if they each met twice a week, but we had at least 3 circles a week: time travel, broadcasters, Guardian Circle, every week. And it was only a few months ago, maybe about 6 months ago, that I collapsed them into one circle on Monday that we call the Vision Circle. So that circle, we come together. The whole intention is to create sovereignty, to bring in new light, to strengthen, to dissolve. It has all of the same components all kind of together. And we meet on Mondays in that circle. So having maybe a history of the galactic, the Guardian Circle, does that answer your question, Jay?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so the Guardian Circle can absolutely be done in group. The thing that right now we're not doing in group is the evolutionary download. And I'm not teaching, no one can do it outside of the tag facilitators. You're the only ones who can do it. It has to fit into the lineage. It has to fit into a knowledge base. it has to be where we're talking to each other and what do we know and what are we learning, etc. So the only ones who can activate that is those in the tag facilitating course. I did ask my guides, because the evolutionary download is done by command. I mean, it's a decree, it's specific, has teams with it, and you ask and it gets done, right? Which is the same as Deep Six, and it's the same as Tag and Transform. I said, what's the difference? What, because we don't, no one has to take a tag class to use Deep Six or Tag and Transform. And they said, because those processes are there to help strengthen the authority muscle, taking back who I am muscle. So they have a unique purpose, and they fit perfectly in individuals. Just try them on and see what happens for them. Okay. Next question or insight.
I wanted to say that I did my second to last practice EV download the other day and got the definite feeling that this person needed to have something first. And usually I do a Rianne healing first. And I really had a feeling that she needed something more to be ready for this. So doing the tag matrix 1 first makes perfect sense. And that's what I'm going to do on my last TV download practice session.
And it might be that with some, it might be 2 before you invite them for that,
Yeah.
So just be aware of it. And the other thing to realize is the evolutionary blueprint, when you feel, okay, now it's time, I'm going to invite you to that session, that blueprint then is a new frequency in their computer, and it's changing the wiring frequency, it's changing the organ it's changing everything. And it's not gonna, for some, maybe yes, it might go, whoa, blast me away, but it's okay. How, might be a month and 2 and stronger, and so everybody's individual. So if you follow with what you're guided to do with that, you're not going to make a mistake, even if like afterwards you go like, oh, I should have done the matrix first. You can always, I activate the download, even, once it's downloaded, I activate the download, especially with individuals that I'm working with who have a lot of density, like cancer density or multiple personality density, those kinds of things. Then I activate it all the time. I don't have to download it again, but it's there. Okay. Oh, okay, Arlie, back soon, electrician there. Yes, Audrey.
Okay, so I guess my question is this. So for the past 6 weeks, I've been clearing the newborns every day.
Good.
Of parasitics, oppression, and domination. But and then I was asking the causal team and tag teams to come in and instill more love and harmony and compassion into their fields. And then every so often I'm guided to download the evolutionary blueprint into their field too. Now, is that too much then?
What I'm holding is that every newborn comes with it.
Okay.
So activating all the clearing, activating all the clearing, and then acknowledging again, activating the evolution. I don't think that would be too much. But again, ask.
Okay.
That's what I would say. Realizing that when we're doing tag sessions, most of us are doing it on older individuals, above 30 maybe. And so there's we want to get a lot of things out of the way. And at a baby, there's not that much in the way. So definitely the 11th hour, definitely the 11th hour.
Right.
And that stability, and I would just say, download and or activate it is not too much. But again, ask.
Okay. Thanks.
So I just wanted to share. I haven't had any clients or anything. I'm strictly wanted to learn all these tax sessions for me and my family. But when I traveled to Greece, we actually went to a couple of ruins. And the first one we went to was the Parnathian. Make sure I say that right. And, you know, there's the big temple, then there's a smaller one for Athena. So we got to learn about Athena a little bit. And all the gift shops had lots of souvenirs based on owls. So I know I was talking before about how in my culture what owls mean. Sometimes they're messengers, sometimes they're messenger for bad messages. But anyway, it's seen as a good sign over there. So it was interesting to learn about different symbols for different cultures. And we went to another island. If nobody knows that Greece has hundreds of islands and only about half of them are inhabited. But anyway, we took a ferry boat to another island and we went to some other ruins. And it actually it was built like a little city, and you can go down the streets, you can go into the homes where these ruins are. And it was like a mini city on an island. And walking through, I thought I was getting claustrophobic, but I just started to feel uneasy. And I had to leave that area and I just had to go sit by the water away from everything. And I just felt the urge to do tag and transform in Deep Six, any negative energy that was there. I couldn't explain what it was exactly, but other than that, the whole trip was awesome. So that was my experience this past week.
That's great. You never know what you're going to be picking up, which brings us back to Jay Lynn. What I discovered is that early on is that we kind of have set ourselves up to get messages in different ways. And so cars breaking down, relationships that don't work, physical body disease. I mean, and you can talk to your causal team and say, this isn't working for me. I definitely want to be able to get the messages. I'm certainly here to help, but I don't need to feel it in the body. Okay. Sorry. I hope you don't have to have it cut off, Arlie. Her electricity. And so work with your causal team. This is your gift. This is your life. And it's up to you to decide how you use it, how it fits for you. And, you know, some people would take these same gifts and they would do art or make songs. You don't, I mean, you know, our sensitivities, our creativity doesn't have to be in a form specified anywhere. So that's what I would suggest. Okay. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you two web pages. When I was first doing long distance work, because when people would come to my home, I'd have printouts. I could give them this little handout here. And here's a page with your reality statement. And, you know, I could give them and they'd walk away with something because I want them to apply. When you're online, that doesn't happen. So what I did, I created an email, kind of an email. And so when somebody would book an appointment, I would send them this email. And when they finished the appointment, I'd send them that email. And, you know, and all of them are pretty much the same except for the information. So finally, I put up I put together a page so that anybody who books with me and they book through Calendly. Usually they get the announcement. Sometimes they don't, but most of the time they do. So they get the announcement, I get the announcement. They know what day, time, link, I do too. I make sure it's on my calendar. And then if I'm going to do a session with them, I send them to, I can send them a link to this page. I don't have to make it, a document to send. And so I'm going to show you this page. And then after they've done the session, I'll show you a basic plan, what I do for them after. So some of you have maybe seen this, but this is a page. So here I could send them this link, okay? And how to participate. So here, thanks for taking a step. They'll begin to stabilize your energy, placing yourself into a guardian circle. I'll work with the healers during the call. I'll share the work that was done. So, kind of this is a little bit of information. And if they need to email me, here's a note that they said you can email. And here's what they can do anytime before the call. Here's the little steps, but here's some specifics. And then here is a link for how to create a statement. And then I've done this, it's a meditation. It's basically taking them on a little guided journey like I would if they were in my room, and letting them stay there with the intention. My intention with this meditation is that their causal team and the tag team will be there literally with them to begin doing some clearing, you see? And then a link to the Guardian Circle protocol. So it's very simple. Reminder to have them mark the calendar. And this particular page is facilitator neutral. In other words, that doesn't take them to me. It doesn't take them anywhere. It's more of a reminder. Okay. And so what I'm showing both of the classes, and then if they want, this is just, I'm taking that down, by the way, I forgot that part. So that if you wanted to use this link, you could, or you could go to this link and you could pull out whatever you want to pull out and create something to email them. I mean, this is kind of a basic, I think a good basic model for how to prepare for the class, for the session. So I'll send you that link. And then the other thing that, other page that I have is this one, and I'll show you. So after they do the tag session, here's some tools. So kind of the same thing, don't feel overwhelmed, but a little bit more, okay, here's examples of reality shifts. Here's how some statements to anchor, some possibilities. What is it, talking about it. What about tag and transform in Deep Six? Takes them to a place where that more explanation. Building the fire talks about when they're building a new fire, they're building a new story in their life. And when you build a fire, you start with one stick and then another, and then another. And you keep adding a few sticks to it, other things to it until they're bigger, until pretty soon the fire is really, really doing very vibrant. So it's a way to say, because people will often say, well, how often do I do the reality statements, or what, and it's really like, do the reality statements. Here's about brain balance. What other things do you know? Do you want to sing songs about it? Do you want to do meditations on it, on your new life? So that's what this is all about. Example of the brain balance. And then they can continue to use that meditation just as a meditation if they want to. Okay. And then this goes to, this is that membership. If they want to be in a community, that's what that one's about. So again, both of them, and of course, afterward, with my clients, I put on there, I download their video from Zoom. I upload it into not my personal Google account, YouTube account, but I've created another account where it's just not listed. So I bring the video from the Zoom, download it, upload it onto a YouTube account. And then I can take the link from the YouTube account. I don't know what, if you were using what platform if you wanted to, but you could either send them the link to that, or in my case, I embed it right into that page, which that's how I do it, you see. So I'll send you, there'll be a link for both of those that we can kind of play with, talk about if we want to use it, how could we make it better? And then anybody can use it. You can use it as a link, or you can use it as a model for what you might want to put together as a prep and then resources. Any questions about that? Okay. So what we're going to, oh yeah, Audrey, I see you. Yes.
I was just going to say, I think I need a class on this technology stuff.
Yeah.
That's all.
That's a good, no, that's a good point. I think we could have a class. I mean, because and I can share what I do, and others can share what they do, and we'll do that during the practicum. I'll put that down for part of the practicum, because making it as easy as possible. Let's share what we both all know.
Oh, that would be great. Thanks. Because I know some, but then my head goes, what?
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. So I put that down. Okay. So what we're going to do is take a break. Oh, another thing, Jay.
Yeah, so the videos and such of you talking, those are okay to link on our like if we create a page on our website, that's like a private page that they get afterwards, we can put those videos on.
Yes, because it's a private page. It doesn't, mine doesn't link to anything. And I usually say this will be up for a period of time, whatever the period of time you want to have it, because you might want to take it down. And because it's on YouTube, they can save it to their playlist if they want to save it. So it's kind of an easy way to do that. So we'll do a techno thing. Okay, 5-minute break. Is that good for everybody? So 50 after the hour, we'll be back. Okay, see you then.